All right, it is Mindful Monday. Listen, if you love Mondays, please raise your hand. Like you live for Mondays. Raise your hand. Let me see it. I didn't think so. Like, I don't see no hands raised. We don't like Mondays. Why are Mondays so hard for us? I think it's because we actually get to do the things that we enjoy doing on the weekends, and Monday's like an interruption to those things that we like doing. If that's how you feel, raise your hand. Now, I see a lot of hands right there. Like, I see a lot of y'all raising your hands. Yeah, that's how we feel about Mondays. But here's how I want you to think about Mondays. After today, I want you to think about Mondays being more mindful. And being mindful in this sense, that mindful Mondays are all about not forgetting who you are, what you like doing, and the things that bring you joy. Because we get so caught up in day to day, Monday through Friday, that we feel like we're in a grind, like we're in a time warp. Wake up, go to sleep, do it again. Wake up, go to sleep, do it again. And so we end up dreading Mondays instead of allowing ourselves to find something that brings us joy every single day. So that's why Mindful Mondays are so important, because now you're going to remember not to get all caught up in everything you do day in and day out during the week, but it's more about remembering how to pour into yourself. That's why self-care is a lifestyle, not an event. So here's a fun fact. Well, not really a fun fact, but here's something I want you to keep in mind when we think of Mondays. Did you know that most heart attacks happen on Mondays? Do you know why? Because Mondays bring us stress. And because Mondays bring us stress, here's what we also know about Mondays. Mondays increase our anxiety. And it's usually because on Sunday night, we don't sleep because we know Monday's coming. How many of you know exactly what I'm talking about? Yeah, like Sunday night, you're all in your head, like, I can't sleep. Like, what time is it? Like, oh my God, I've only got 5 hours of sleep now. Because you're tossing and turning because you're feeling anxious about what you're going to do on Monday, starting the week. And so now you're stressing about the week and being anxious about the week. So Monday is actually the day that studies have shown that Monday is actually the day that most heart attacks take place. After today, you're not going to be one of those people, because sis, you're going to start your week more mindful on Mondays. Here's why being mindful on Mondays is so important. You know me, I got to give you 5 reasons. Here they are. Self-care, here we go. Y'all know it's our self-care challenge. Here are 5 reasons why a mindful Monday is so important to us. Reason number 1 is my go-to, is what I'm telling you the entire 21 days. It reduces our stress and anxiety. Being more mindful, being more present, helps to reduce stress and anxiety. Have I said that enough to you to where now you get this? That it's all about reducing your stress and it's all about reducing your anxiety. Remember, I told you anxiety's rooted in the future. We get anxious over things that we feel like we can't control, the what ifs. So being more mindful helps to reduce your stress and anxiety, because when you're mindful, you're more present. That's the first reason why Mindful Mondays are so important. Here's the second reason why Mindful Mondays are so important. It improves your emotional balance and regulation. Do I need to say that again? It improves your emotional balance and regulation. Let's just be honest, sis. When we get over the age of 40, sometimes we don't do a real good job of balancing our emotions and regulating them. Sometimes we explode on people. Sometimes we say things we wish we hadn't said. Sometimes we operate without a filter. Sometimes we just feel like we're out of control when it comes to our emotions. And being more mindful, remaining calm, being present Remember the 4x4 box breathing that I taught you the first day? Yep, that helps you to be more mindful. Those things help us to be more mindful and present. And being more mindful and present helps us to balance our emotions and regulate our emotions. And here's the name of the game, sis. It's all about you, learning you so that you can manage you better. So sometimes you feel like you're out of control. Sometimes you feel like you're anxious, you're depressed. Sometimes everybody's getting on your nerves. Sometimes you don't even like yourself. Let's just be honest. Sometimes you don't even like yourself. And that's because at this age, just like in adolescence when we start to have our cycle, at this age, late 30s, 40s, 50s, we're experiencing perimenopause and menopause, and our emotions are all over the place, just like they were in adolescence. And so, just as we learn how to navigate those emotions then, guess what you got to do again, sis? You got to learn how to navigate these emotions now. And it's all about our balance and being able to identify what those emotions are. Here's the third reason why Mindful Mondays are so important to us. It helps us with focus and clarity. How many of you have been mid-sentence and you go, no, what was I saying? What was I thinking? What was I getting ready to say? I can't remember. Or you've been typing up, just going at it, and then all of a sudden, just completely wiped out of your brain. Like you can't even begin to bring the thought back. Yep. That's what Mindful Mondays do. They help you with that clarity and focus. Sometimes it's a little bit easier than others, but the more we practice being present and being able to calm ourselves, that's right, sis, being able to calm yourself. Yeah, helps you with clarity and focus. Remember, I shared with you the importance of journaling, and sometimes our thoughts look like a bowl of spaghetti in our heads, and how journaling helps us to take those thoughts and to roll them out so that we can see where things are showing up in our lives, the thoughts that we're having. Yep. So Mindful Mondays, being able to slow down and be present on those days, not just Monday, but we're just calling it Mindful Monday. But Mindful Monday helps us to be able to take some of those thoughts that feel like that big bowl of spaghetti and to roll them out so that we can better identify and see those things that keep showing up that we need to pay attention to. If you're like me on Sundays, and I will be doing this, it's actually going to be called Sunday Setup. It's actually called Sunday Setup. And on Sundays, what I'll do is that I'll take out my weekly calendar and see which clients I'm seeing for the week. I'll get my appointments together so that I can see everything laid out. And so even on Mondays, I'll go back and review that because it helps me to be in the moment with the people that I'm seeing. So it helps with my clarity and focus because my thoughts are not all over the place. I can see where I'm going. I can see who I've got to talk to. I've got to engage in the way that I need to engage. And so Mindfulness Mondays helps us be present in the moment so that we can do a better job of staying focused and being clear on our intentions. That's a big word. What are your intentions? All right, here's a fourth thing that Mindful Mondays help us do. They promote better sleep. I know you're like, wait, how does being mindful on a Monday help promote better sleep? I'm glad you asked. So remember all of the things that I shared with you at the beginning of the challenge. Journaling, being grateful, that 4x4 box breathing, making sure that you stretch before you get out of bed, making sure that you do the 10 minutes time out, making sure that you get your physical activity. Yep, that's why those things are so important, because particularly on Mondays, you want to be sure that you're tapping into those self-care tips that I gave you, because on Monday, remember I asked y'all if you love a Monday, raise your hand, and none of y'all raised your hands. That's why you need to do those things on a Monday, because it helps you get ready for the week. You don't want to wake up on a Monday morning, jumping out of bed, just getting ready to go and just meet the beginning of the week like a gangbuster. That ain't the beginning of a good week. What you want to do is ease into your week. And so we start with the 4x4 box breathing. Actually, start with the gratitude. While you laying in the bed, start with the gratitude. and then the 4x4 box breathing, and then the stretch. And if you like me, listen, here's one thing I don't do on Mondays because I don't like a Monday. Don't tell anybody I told you this. I don't work out on Mondays. That's right. I don't work out on Mondays because Mondays are challenging enough. The last thing I want to do is wake up early and work out on a Monday. So I work out Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and I'll go for walks on Saturdays and Sundays. But my heavy workout days are Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So those days, when I'm thinking about being mindful on those days also include how do I wind up the day so that I can have a good sleep routine. Remember, we talked about sleep and how important sleep and rest was for us because we struggle with our sleep anyway at this age. So having that nightly routine, particularly on a Sunday night, helps to promote your sleep so that you can be more mindful on Mondays. So you're waking up on Mindful Mondays with a wake up routine. Also, because Mondays are automatically stressful for us because it's the beginning of the week, but after this video, no more. But as you end Monday, you're making sure that you have a sleep routine that you've put in place. And we've talked about that, ladies. We've talked about turning your electronic devices off an hour before you go to bed. We've talked about having the shower as hot as you can stand it. We've talked about having the scents that help you to calm and relax. We've talked about the 4x4 deep breathing that allows you to calm your central nervous system so that you can drift off to sleep more easily. All right, so Mindful Mondays, even though we're putting this on a Monday, I want you to be mindful of it every day, but Mindful Mondays help you to promote better sleep. Here's the fifth thing that I want you to remember why Mindful Mondays are so very important. And it goes back to what I said about most heart attacks happen on what day of the week? It's a Monday. Here's what I want you to remember. Mindful Mondays, being mindful, helps to support our heart health. So ladies, let's just talk about our health here. Okay? So heart health is actually heart disease, not heart health, but heart disease is the leading cause of death for women. Now, we already know this. When it comes to us sisters, we already know this. A lot of times we're not even included in those studies. Why? Because y'all don't go to the doctor. You're so busy taking care of everybody else, you don't go to the doctor like you should to take care of you. So a lot of times when we read these studies, they don't even include a significant number of participants that look like me and you because we just simply don't go to the doctor. So when they say that it's the leading cause of death for women, usually you can probably multiply that by 5 because we just don't go to the doctor. We just don't do what we need to do to take care of ourselves. So if it's the leading cause of death for women, multiply that by 5, and that's probably just about how many times it's that much more detrimental to us as Black women. You got it, sis? So if heart disease is the leading cause of death for women, then sis, you're 5 times more likely to be one of those women who die of heart disease too early because you didn't take care of yourself. But being more mindful helps you to take care of yourself because being more mindful helps you to calm down your heart rate. It helps you to not release so much cortisol. Remember, we talked about my Tina. Yeah, see, I don't know what y'all names y'all girlfriends, but see, Tina, I'm trying to get rid of Tina again. Because when Tina shows up, that lets me know, Tina's my midsection for those of you who don't remember. You remember the mid girl, the girl that shows up every now and again when you get too much cortisol in your life? Yeah, Tina's back on me because I wasn't really paying that much attention to myself the past few months. Tina showed up on my doorstep, and so now my pants are fitting a little bit more tighter. My weight has crept up a little bit, and that's all because I was stressed. And when you're stressed and you're not taking very good care of yourself, you release a lot more cortisol. And cortisol is your fight, flight, or freeze hormone. That hormone shows up when you're anxious. That hormone shows up when you're stressed. It doesn't know that you're not being chased by a dinosaur, but you're stressed because you're doing too many things. So Tina showed up, but guess what? I got to do what I got to do to get rid of Tina. Tina got to go. Like, I need her to pack her bags and I need her to go. So, with that being said, because I was releasing so much cortisol, now my weight has crept up because with the cortisol release, I started craving sugars. I started wanting to eat later at night, not really having a lot of energy. And so my doctor diagnosed me with adrenal fatigue. And so now I'm having to go back and do my protocol for getting rid of, for getting rid of the adrenal fatigue and getting rid of Tina. Like, Tina got to pack her bags and get up out of here. So anyway, that's what I'm saying. Mindfulness Monday helps to support our heart health so we don't release all that cortisol when we're stressed, so that we get enough sleep at night, so that we're not feeling anxious, so that our bodies will learn how to relax again. And so that's what Mindfulness Monday is all about. It's the beginning of the week. We know how some of our weeks are. We do have a lot of responsibilities, ladies, and sometimes we just can't let go of everything. But even if you can't let go of everything, what I want you to do is be more mindful in how you are showing up in your responsibilities. So the best version of you shows up for you before it shows up for anybody else. That's what being mindful is all about. How are you taking care of you? How are you showing up for you so that the best version of you shows up for your kids, shows up for your spouse, shows up for the people in your job, shows up for your parents, for those of you who are taking care of your parents, all of these other responsibilities that we have, we can't give our best to those responsibilities until we give the best to ourselves first. So be mindful on Mondays. Sit down and take a moment and remember, you show up for you first so that you can show up for everybody else. Self-care is not an event. Self-care is not an option. It's a lifestyle. And that's what this 21-day challenge is all about. So it's Mindfulness Monday. It's your Mindful Monday reminder. I want you to make sure that you take care of you today. Do those things. Remember those things that we've talked early on in the challenge. They can all be incorporated, but you got to remember to do them. And just like it's in a lifestyle that you learn how to do, be mindful in learning how to do it for yourself. All right, until tomorrow, I'll see you then.